one man crossed the vast ocean to discover a new world. His name, Christopher Columbus.
Christopher Columbus? No way, it's me, Frank from the Travel Guy, and welcome to the Dominican Republic.
Come on now, there's a world out there and it's waiting to be explored. If you're craving an adventure, the Travel Guy's got what you're looking for. The sights, the sounds, the streets, the towns, just take a look around. And as you dream of paradise, there's advice we must bestow. Don't just pack your bags and hit the road, you gotta know before you go.
The Dominican Republic is situated in the Central Caribbean and shares a border with the Republic of Haiti. The island lies west of Puerto Rico and east of Cuba.
Santo Domingo is the capital of the Dominican Republic. It was founded in 1496, which makes this the oldest city of the New World. It was colonized 4 years after Columbus founded this island, and what better way to check it out than visiting the colonial district and walking along Calle Las Damas, the oldest street in the New World. The colonial zone in Santo Domingo takes you back in time to when the first European settlers inhabited the New World. Here, I walked across the beautiful Park Colón Square. Just a short walk through the square and I came across one of the Dominican Republic's most important buildings. Here, I met up with Eldon, who's going to show me around. Hey, Eldon.
Oh, my friend, how are you? Fine, what are you doing?
Good, thanks for meeting me here. I can't believe we're here in the first cathedral in the New World.
Yeah, this is it, la Catedral Primada de América, de Santa María de la Encarnación.
Santa María de la Encarnación.
Okay. Yes.
When was it built?
Well, in 1522 they begin and they finish in 1540s.
Yeah?
Something. Yeah.
There are a lot of famous people stayed in this cathedral, huh?
Yeah, a lot of famous. Francis Drake stayed here like for 1 month, living there, while he robbed all the colonial city, and then he left with everything, and even Christopher Columbus was here.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, buried, yeah.
Is he still here, buried?
No, he moved to another place. I'll show you.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that. From the cathedral, we moved on to explore the Fortaleza Ozama, the oldest fortress in the Americas. Hey, Eldon.
Hey.
This is a magnificent structure up here.
Yeah, the first military construction in America.
Wow.
Yeah.
I guess there's a lot of countries have been occupying this place over the centuries.
Yeah, like 7 different countries occupy this fort. Yeah, yes.
And now?
Now it's the best nation, Dominican Republic.
This is the Columbus Lighthouse. It was built to honor the memory of Christopher Columbus and his magnificent discovery. Now, it's built in the shape of a cross, so it's unlike any other lighthouse in the world.
Frank,
hey.
I wanted to show you this.
Oh, perfect. The lighthouse has a plaque for every country in the New World mounted along the side walls. They are there to remind visitors of the magnitude of Christopher Columbus's great discovery. Inside the lighthouse, I was blown away by the architecture and the windows that are shaped like crosses. The remains of Christopher Columbus are situated at the center of this lighthouse built in his honor.
Kites have long been a favorite toy of kids all around the world. But kites aren't just for kids anymore. Here in Cabarete on the north shore of the Dominican Republic, you'll find one of the world's hottest kite surfing destinations. So I'm off to learn to fly.
With several years on the World Cup circuit under her belt, I wasn't off to learn with just anyone. I was about to learn from one of the best.
Laurel, I'm not sure you actually know what you've gotten yourself into agreeing to teach me to kiteboard.
No problem. We're going to get you out and flying, and you're going to have a lot of fun. Cabarete has always been known as a windsurfing destination. It's also known as the original kiteboarding destination. So in the beginning, many of the kiteboarders were windsurfers crossing over. They already knew the sea, the winds. They liked this kind of sport. Right. So it was a natural transition for them.
Got the board in front of me. I'm itching to get on it. Can you get suited up?
Yep, let's go get you geared up and ready to go. So the harness is actually super important in the kiteboarding because it's not like holding on like in water skiing or wakeboarding. You actually hook into the harness and let your back take most of the power of the kite.
Oh, wow.
So whenever you're doing kiting, you know, it is a little bit of an extreme sport, so you do want to have safety. You want to wear your helmet.
For sure.
And then this is your bar and your lines.
Okay.
So this one is wrapped up, but basically what you do is you hook into there when you're kiting, and then you just steer the bar. So go ahead and put your hands on the bar and drop your elbows down a little bit.
So it's just comfortable.
It's comfortable, and it's like steering the handlebars of a mountain bike. Or a motocross bike. It's not like driving a car.
The first part of the process is all about understanding the power of the kite and learning to be comfortable maneuvering the handlebar in a relaxed manner. And I seem to be doing okay. Make sure you wear sunglasses though, as you'll spend plenty of time looking into the sky.
You have to really learn to read the wind. And to anticipate it before things happen. You always have to think one step ahead. Once you're mastered the kite flying on the beach, the next stage is going into the water and learning how to fly the kite in the water. It's one thing when you're standing here and you're resisting. It's another thing when you just let the kite pull you. So we're gonna do a little bit of body surfing.
Ooh, fun.
But instead of using the wave, we're gonna use the kite.
Being that it was my first time trying the sport, I was still a few lessons from being able to try a kite and board in the water. So Laurel demonstrated a few of the techniques we discussed previously, and showed off a bit too. While boarding looks effortless when done properly, it's an extreme sport that requires intense concentration. The sport is becoming safer due to innovations in kite design, safety release systems, and most importantly, proper instruction. Soon though, it was my turn to join in the fun, and I grabbed onto the back of Laurel's harness to feel the power of the kite.
The Dominican Republic has one of the most extensive cave systems in all of the Caribbean. The cave I'm exploring today used to be known as Cueva del Diablo, or the Devil's Cage. Today it's known as Cave Foom. It is believed to be the biggest cave in all the Caribbean. I'm going to explore with my guide Kelvin and see what fun we can have. Let's go, Blondie! The fun started with my horse Blondie. He had a mind of his own. Once I got him going, Kelvin and I trekked across a river. Okay, it was a stream, and through lush forest to get to the cave. I like getting there on horseback. Finally, not much walking to do. Man, Blondie kept me on my toes and kept Kelvin laughing at me with his antics. So what do they call the cave Fun?
Fun is because when the bats fly, they make a sound like fun. Suena sound fun.
See.
But it's fun.
Ah, so the tourists call it fun, huh?
Yeah.
So, Kelvin, why are we dressed like we've just gotten out of the local prison?
No, what's happened is we have to use this because inside is wet, there is mud, and we are going to enjoy a day. So you have to have the dress that is appropriate.
See, one thing I should have is a cut-off sleeves like you, huh? I thought we were resting the horses, but Kelvin told me we now had a 45-minute walk ahead of us to get to the cave. But don't worry, he said, the horses will be waiting for us at the other end. Great, more walking. No, wait, more hiking. But I felt like an adventurer as I followed Kelvin through the forest trail. This plant is called the Moravivi plant. It shrivels up when touched and blooms again a short time after. Oh, Kelvin, I don't think I can go on anymore. Are we there yet?
Yes, we are here.
Oh, I don't think I can go on anymore. It's so hot here.
No, it's cold in the cave.
Caves are cold?
Yeah, it's cold.
Thank you. What Kelvin neglected to tell me was that I had to rappel 18 meters down to get into the cave. Okay, heights and I just don't get along, so it was a very slow and careful descent. We walked through various tunnels and spotted amazing stalactite and stalagmite formations. And yes, we crossed water up to our waist at times. There were eels and small fish in the water and lots of bats in the cave. Kelvin! Come on, Kelvin, I can't see anything. Where are you? Kelvin! Kelvin, come on!
Wait! I am here!
Oh, Kelvin!
Come on, let's follow me this way.
All right. You funny guy, you. Besides being a great tour guide, Kelvin was also known as a lousy joker, at least to me anyway. Finally, after a good hour of caving, we reached the exit point.
Hey, Foom is fun. But here's a tip. You're gonna get pretty wet in there, and these boots really don't hold out the water.
After my caving adventure, we rode back to base riding across beautiful countryside.
Near the Dominican-Haitian border, you'll find Lago Enriquillo, the largest lake and lowest point in all of the Caribbean. The water has a very high salt content, which makes it perfect for viewing flamingos, American crocodiles, and these little guys, the iguanas.
Situated in the west, the lake is near the Dominican-Haitian border and covers an area of 265 square kilometers. It's one of only a few saltwater lakes in the world inhabited by crocodiles. Despite my guide's best efforts, the crocs eluded us, and I later learned the best time to see these creatures is in the early morning. But we had no problem finding the flamingos, and I learned how they get their pink color. It's a combination of bacteria in the water and the shrimp that they eat.
Lago Enriquillo and its surrounding region is preserved in a national park, and there are 3 islands within the lake: Barbarita, Islita, and the one I'm off to explore, Cabritos.
The records and rhinoceros iguanas coexist on Cabritos Island. They each have a thick ringed tail and skin that is multiple shades of gray. The dry savanna-like climate provides all the flowers and plants necessary to fill this creature, that typically weighs about 3 kilos.
Cabritos Island has a very arid and desert-like environment, and its main residents, the iguana. Thousands and thousands of them to be exact. So neat to be this close to such a prehistoric-looking animal. Hey, buddy, I see you looking at me. Come on, let's go for a walk. Come on.
If you want to see these iguanas, though, start planning your trip now, because they're listed as a critically endangered species.
The juice from these sugar canes is used to make this island's #1 drink mix, rum. And the Dominicans will tell you that they make the best rum in all the Caribbean. While a visit to the Bruegel rum factory will certainly confirm this.
Bruegel is a family's company that is rum distiller since 1888. We're talking about 119 years producing the best Dominican rum.
I thought it was the best in the Caribbean.
Yes, it is. Of course, you'll try it all around the islands, and you will see Bruegel everywhere you go. Because we not just produce rum for the Dominican Republic. We export to 28 different countries. Most of our production stay here, but 22% of them go to 28 different countries located in Europe, North, Central America, and also South America.
One of the unique features of the bottle is the packaging. The bottle is wrapped in a yellow net, all done by hand. It looked easy, so I tried. I was told nicely that the job of netting the bottles was probably not for me.
Oh, there's lots of barrels here.
From what you see, we have enough. This is the 4 years old rum. They stay in the barrel for really 4 years. That make it more special. That make the difference between Bruegel and some other rums. We also have 6 and 9 years one, but the 9 years one is our most special edition, and is reserved in a very special place where not many people go in, because that's our most special rum for our most special people. But before that, that rum must be checked for the owners. They personally go and taste them before people drink it, so they sure it's the right one and it's the right flavor. The rum, same thing as the whiskey or the brandy, the younger is stronger. That means that the older is softer, smoother. So for example, when we talk about this one, we're talking about one of our oldest rum. This is an Extra Viejo, Family Reserve. This one has been aged for 6 years. That makes it softer, smoother. This is the one you drink straight or on the rocks. And it's a very high quality old rum to drink straight. That this one is the 151. That means 151 proof. This one is 75.5% alcohol. You should use it only for cocktails.
So you don't drink it straight.
Highly, I don't suggest you to drink it straight. You may go earlier in bed.
So Carlos, how many bottles a day does the Bruegel company produce?
Well, of those rum, we produce about 500,000 bottles a day. That means 24,000 cases a day. And last year, the total production was 5.2 million of cases.
Well, I'd like to try some of the smoother rum, so let's try it.
Like to try that one?
Yep.
Salud.
Salud.
Now I know which rum I need to put in my drink. And what's interesting is that 78% of the rum produced is consumed in the Dominican Republic. No wonder, it tastes great.
One of the first sights Christopher Columbus would have seen upon discovering the Dominican are the beautiful coastal mountains which cradle the entire 125-kilometer north shore. Now, in the mountains near Puerto Plata, you'll find the Charcos de Damajagua, 27 cascading waterfalls and beautiful secluded pools.
The 27 waterfalls have existed for thousands of years, but have only recently been discovered by tourists. The first tours of the falls began in 1994, and nowadays nearly 50,000 visitors explore this amazing natural treasure every year. The area has long been a favorite of locals, and with the help of my extremely capable guide, it quickly became one of my favorites as well.
What do you actually get to see and do while you're on the trip?
Well, you swim a lot, climb and walk. So you swim and climb on the way up. On the way down, we're gonna be doing like slide, water slide, and jumping. So it's gonna be a lot of fun.
How deep is the water here?
Like 7, 8 meters.
So that's why you give me my safety gear, my helmet?
Yeah.
In case I hit my head?
In case, you never know, just for safety.
The best advice is to come early in the morning to avoid crowds and to bring only what's necessary: a bathing suit, shoes that can get wet, and a sense of adventure. Bachata, mambo, and salsa are all dances of the Caribbean, but the official music and dance of the Dominican is the merengue, and Eduardo is going to show me a few steps. What is the history of this dance?
Normally, merengue is like a kind of mix. We have merengue with the instruments. One instrument is come from Africa, the another one is from Germany, but our instrument is la guira.
La guida?
La guira, that's the name of the instruments.
Okay.
And then we mix the instrument, and it's called merengue.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, so merengue was officially a music first?
It's a music first.
And then it became a dance after?
And then it's come the dance. DJ, hit me. With the music. That's the number one.
Apparently the lesson stopped at number 1, and then it was up to me to hold on and keep up. The merengue is a 2-step beat which requires both partners to move their knees and hips in the same direction. Legend has it that the dance originated from a limping war hero who had to 2-step because of his wounds. With my newly acquired dance skills, it was time to test my moves. And what better way to get into the groove than to head out for a night on the town? Lava Lava took me out to one of the Dominican's happening clubs.
Puerto Plata has a lot of resorts and many great beaches, but if you want to do something different, get off the resort and come to Mount Isabella de Torres and take a cable car ride up the mountain.
Mount Isabella is one of the highest mountains in the Dominican Republic. The cable car travels about 6 meters a second, and it will take you above the clouds to the top of the mountain in no time. At the top, you will definitely need your camera. There are beautiful views, garden paths, and a giant statue of Christ the Redeemer, similar to the one in Rio de Janeiro. I really think the ride down was even more exhilarating than the ride up.
Each year in February, the Dominican Republic gets carnival crazy. Hundreds of thousands of people put on these ornate costumes and transform themselves into devilish figures. And it all starts with the mask.
The masks are works of art. Most are handcrafted, and when they're worn, they transform the person into a prankster. These masks are very ornate and intricate, and it takes talent to create them. After all, they are used in the biggest celebration in the Dominican, the Vega carnival, that takes place every February.
The manual labor that goes into creating these masks is certainly a labor of love for these artists. And this is what the final mask can look like.
Along with the mask, you need a costume. So I went to one of the Dominican's premier costume makers to learn more.
Por el colorido, el sonido de cascabel y la vejiga.
Hey! I tried on the costume, put on the mask, and then it was time for some lessons.
I've learned how to make these great masks and got this great costume. Now there's one more thing left to do, is learn how to do the dance of the carnival.
Payback felt good, and I really learned the dance quite fast. Not bad for a beginner.
Every weekend in February, La Vega becomes Carnival Central in the Dominican Republic. And to think, these people have to dance every week with these costumes on in the hot sun. They must be in shape, unlike me. Hey, Lauren.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Look at that.
Oh, good job.
Yeah.
I can't believe how much activity there is on this island. I mean, I walked in Columbus's footsteps. I've seen this gorgeous lighthouse like none other in the world. And I even went caving this humongous cave, and I even learned the type of rum that should actually go in my drink.
Every single kind of rum should go in your drink, Frank.
Okay.
I also learned something. I learned how to merengue and shake my stuff. I also got to enjoy all the fabulous activities there are here, from waterfall jumping to kite surfing.
Wow, well, you know what, Lauren? It really pays to
know before you go. Frank, you should really try
that. Do this. The all-inclusive resorts certainly put on a great spread. The food is quite rich and plentiful, and if you're not used to that, your stomach may sound louder than the band playing at the bar. Most established business areas have fixed prices on their merchandise, but beach and street vendors don't, so make sure you never pay more than half their asking price. If you're planning to rent a car in the Dominican Republic, keep this in mind. The roads are fairly rugged, and the drivers here, they're a poco loco. Dominican Republic, you will need a tourist visa, so have $10 US available because you'll have to buy it before you get through customs. Drinking water from the tap is definitely not advisable, although you can rinse your mouth out as long as you don't swallow. If you do, you might be paying a visit to the local resort doctor.